What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It's been a minute, just came back from holiday, and in today's video I'm going to review something that has been waiting for me here at home for the longest. So in front of us today we do have the latest collaboration between JJJJound and ASICS. This is technically their second ASICS collaboration. The first one is the Kayano 14s, which I think sparked a lot of the Kayano 14 movement back in like 2022. It's kind of crazy saying they haven't done an ASICS since. So if you're not new to JJJJound, you know their whole aesthetic is minimalist, very low key. They're supposed to be like the best form of basics you can get. And these are no exception to that. So this is one of the colorway from the pack of 3. In front of us, we do have the white colorway, I think it is. This is the only one that actually had white mesh on it. In this video, I will be covering the release details, the sneaker details, and maybe why people aren't really vibing with these as much as the original pair of Kayanos or ASICS in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these out the box completely and let's get straight into it. All right, out the box, we do have those are the latest collaboration. And I gotta admit, they're pretty basic in my eyes. I can understand why people really aren't fiending for these or really enjoying these JJJJound collabs as much as they used to. All right, so before I put the box away, we do have that JJJJound hit right there. Label for those who are looking, another JJJJound hit here, ASICS, and I can put that off to the side. So these are actually my first pair of GT 2160s now. I have a lot of 1130s in my collection. I have a couple Kayanos. I'm really enjoying what ASICS has been putting out in terms of these running sneakers. They've been fantastic. They're very comfortable, and in my opinion, they're very stylish. This is actually one of the models that Kith used in its Marvel collaborations. Green Goblins, and I also think the Venom and Spider-Man pack used this, if I'm not mistaken. If you're used to like 1130s, pretty much in my eyes, they're pretty much the same. These do take inspiration from the early 2010s. So everything's supposed to be a little more wavy on these, the construction, the sole. I can kind of see it, but at the end I do feel like all these sneakers are referencing the same base models. Like you'll see the same performance details on these that you see on 1130s or Kayanos. But fit is completely different, or the way they feel on your foot. So I did go ahead and throw these on because I wanted to like actually let you guys know how they fit. In my opinion, they're a little more stiff compared to 1130s or Kayanos. I think Kayanos have more of like a spring to them because the sole is just a little more reactive. 1130s are a little more comfortable. They have a little more padding. These are just a little more stiff on the upper and on the sole itself. I do feel like they have more of this support system here. Honestly, it reminds me exactly of what 1130s have as well. But on foot, they just feel a little more stiff. And I don't know if they'll break in. I say give it some wear and you'll be good. These do feel a little more padded because they have these extra hits of padding around the ankle. So it's just like a nice, I guess, feel to it without necessarily feeling snug. It's not as malleable on the foot when you're wearing them and breaking them in. So taking a look at the materials on this shoe, I gotta be honest, if you don't look close enough, it just looks like a GR pair of shoes. Normally when I attribute GRs, I see this white, I see hits of silver. It's something ASICS really known for, especially with the Kayano line. But I'll try to get as close as I can. All this right here, the leather details is synthetic leather, but it kind of looks braided or like weaved in. And the hits that are like that are the front light gray part right here, the dark gray part right here, anywhere you see those two colors, and then back here on this white. So it's just, it looks weaved. It looks almost like hexagons, like they're just shapes piled on top of a repeating pattern. Besides that, you have the ASICS swooshes right here, or stripes, I think they're called. Those are 3M and reflective, very nice. I always appreciate that. And the mesh itself is very spaced out, so I really love that spaced out mesh. Fun fact, I wore 1130s to Europe a couple weeks ago, and on the really cold days I felt it going into the sneaker, so I had to compensate by just thick wool socks. So on these, like most of the JJJJound collaborations, the only real hint of branding is going to be in one spot. So right here we have a 2D panel on the back in bright green. Only other details with bright green are the name of the sneaker right here and on the tongue that says ASICS. Last little detail I can show is that they come with these two-tone laces right here. It matches the sneaker a little bit better, but I do think I'm going to stick to white on these. All in all, I think they're a pretty good shoe. Now, when it comes to the 2160s, I do think they aren't as good as 1130s. 1130s, especially at the GR level, are a little bit cheaper. So these retail at GRs at $120, if I'm not mistaken. This collaboration was $150. 1130s can sometimes come in at $90 to $100, and you can catch them on sale most of the time. I don't know if ASICS is currently putting out enough of these to catch them going on sale. In terms of collabs, this one retailed at $150 or $160 if I'm not mistaken. Made in Cambodia, while 1130s, the Hals at least that I have, those are I think made in Vietnam, and they are leather and mesh. $150 as well. So like comparing both of them, the 1130s is just winning in my opinion. Even the Kith. So Kith does kind of these scarabs. They do Kayanos, NYCs, and they do 1130s. Those 1130s are retailed at $110 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not gonna lie, if you're looking for a pair of ASICS, I would suggest 1130s before I suggest these. If you're someone who prefers a stiff feeling sneaker, these might be the ones for you. All right, getting into this later part of the video, I did want to talk a little bit about the JJJJound company directly. So I do feel like there is a little bit of fatigue that's coming around with JJJJound. And I do think it's not just JJJJound. I see the same type of fatigue coming with ALD and other bigger brands. For JJJJound, if I didn't tell you that little detail about the leather, if I didn't show you the logo in the back, these would have just been a pair of GRs. 100% GRs done by ASICS. I wouldn't have questioned it at all. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but the thing that gets me is a GR will run me $120. These ran me $160. So I feel like for $160, it better be worth that $160, not just like a brand on it. Now, when it comes to Kith, they do GR materials on their ASICS, but at least they have kind of a color palette, color range that they're going with. I'm talking about that scarab line. I'm talking about, they're more known for ASICS and good colors that really correlate with their brand. JJJJound doesn't really have that. JJJJound just has that minimalistic approach and aspect to it. Like the Crocs, trash, but kind of cool if you didn't get the white ones. I think the only place where JJJJound really like shines is in New Balance. We've already been leaked to a couple other New Balances that are releasing maybe this year. Those are insane, but I do think they're just older colors they used on a new model. That being said, I will be trying for those, and I would love to have a pair. And these overseas are sitting. So I went to London, I went to Paris, and I went to Amsterdam this month. Fantastic trip, but I did get a chance to pop into some boutiques, Size, and other ones. I saw these sitting, but at least in the case of London, Great British Pound had these at like 150 pounds, which roughly is like $200 USD. That's what resale is. At that price, I probably wouldn't pick these up either. Other than this, I think their clothing is also pretty weak. I feel like I'm just taking shots at JJJJound, but it's part of the review. The Levi collab they did, I really like those jeans. I wish I would have been able to grab a pair. So all in all, pretty cool shoe, but if you do not have a pair and you're thinking about resale, I would push you towards maybe some 1130s. Get comfortable with those first, see if you even like ASICS as a whole. If you're someone who collects ASICS and you're thinking about adding these to the collection, these or any of the other colors, that's on you. I could have passed on these and been completely fine. I'm probably gonna forget I own these in about a month. So that's been my video. I hope it wasn't too negative, but all in all, if this helps your decision in getting a pair, by all means, it was worth making. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on feet, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.